When people talk about Southern California, everyone imagines warm sunshine, blue oceans, swaying palm trees, and dreamlike coastal homes. But by 2025, that picture is changing. Home prices are 8 to 10 times higher than income. Interest rates have hit 7%. Insurance is climbing. And houses once fought over now sit on the market for months. For many middle-class families, especially those over 50, the question is no longer where to buy, but should we even buy at all? Because a single wrong decision today could turn the golden years into a lifelong financial burden. In this video, we'll go through 10 Southern California cities, places that seemed like paradise, but are now showing dangerous cracks. Knowing where not to buy might just be the smartest investment you'll ever make. Watch until the end, because sometimes knowing what to avoid is the key to protecting your future and your family. 10. Ventura. The retreat of a seaside paradise, Ventura, the coastal city once seen by many families as a budget paradise compared to Los Angeles or Orange County, has now become one of the most concerning places in 2025. According to Redfin, as of August 2025, the median home price has dropped to about $855,000, down 4.3% from last year. It might sound like the opportunity to buy has arrived, but in reality, this price is still far out of reach for middle-class families here. With a mortgage covering 80%, about $684,000, at the current 7% interest rate, the monthly payment comes to around $5,000. For a middle-class family or a retired couple living on pensions, this is nothing less than a crushing weight, swallowing up several months of net income just to hold on to a roof. Not only are prices high, but the market in Ventura is clearly cooling. The average time to sell a home has stretched to 57 days, compared to just 43 days last year. Homes staying longer on the market means fewer buyers, and sellers are forced either to cut prices or wait anxiously. Inventory has surged, a trend across Southern California, with many areas reporting increases from 35% to nearly 80%, making the real estate atmosphere even heavier. And while homes in Ventura used to be seen as fast sellers, today buyers are far more cautious. Ownership costs are also making many families shake their heads. Property taxes in Ventura County run about 1.2%, or nearly $10,000 a year for a median-priced home. Meanwhile, homeowners' insurance here is increasingly expensive due to wildfire risk, a common threat across Southern California. Many insurers have pulled out of the area, leaving residents to pay premiums 1.5 to even 2 times higher than just a few years ago. For retirees who need financial stability, this is truly a ticking time bomb. A close-to-home example is the story of Mark and Linda, 58 and 61, who once dreamed of a small house near the beach to enjoy their retirement. They put down a deposit on a home in Ventura, but just days before signing the contract, they decided to walk away. After adding up the mortgage, taxes, and insurance, the monthly cost far exceeded their pension income. "We don't want to live in fear every month just to pay for housing," they said. And in reality, they are far from alone in today's climate. Ventura still has the charm of a peaceful seaside town, but behind that beauty are growing financial burdens. With high prices, punishing interest rates, rising inventory, and escalating taxes and insurance, this market has become a trap for many buyers, especially those entering retirement. The question is, are you ready to pay over $5,000 a month just to hold on to a home in Ventura, or will you choose a safer, smarter path? 9. Long Beach, the hesitant wave. If Ventura makes people hesitate because of the burden of ownership, then Long Beach feels like a hesitant wave. outwardly still lively, but inside, undercurrents of instability. With a median home price of about $822,000 in August 2025, Long Beach has dipped only 2.1% compared to last year. At first glance, it looks like little change, but in reality, this price is 87% higher than the national average. That means the income of most Long Beach residents is lagging far behind the cost of having a home. For a middle-class family trying to buy here, even with great effort, it's easy to end up out of breath. With an 80% mortgage, $658,000 at nearly 7% interest, buyers face about $4,400 a month in mortgage payments. It may sound less than in Irvine or Beverly Hills, but compared to Long Beach residents' incomes, it's still a crushing burden. That's why many young families, after years of scrambling to buy, are now stepping back, exhausted and more cautious with every decision. The housing market in Long Beach is also showing signs of slowing rhythm. The average time to sell has risen from 36 days to 49 days, reflecting sellers' struggle to find buyers, with many homes needing price cuts to move. Across Los Angeles County, listings have jumped nearly 47% year over year, and Long Beach is following that trend. This is the result of many homeowners trying to exit the market while still holding ultra-low mortgage rates from past years. They know that if they hold on, the future burden could be even heavier. But the paradox is, supply is up while demand has cooled. Buyers in Long Beach are no longer rushing to fight for homes like in 2020-2021. According to PBS SoCal Matters, many homeowners are staying put in houses with 3 to 4% mortgage rates, unwilling to sell because buying again would mean borrowing at 6 to 7%. The result is a market stuck between two extremes: sellers wanting to unload, buyers afraid of escalating costs. And the cost of ownership in Long Beach is no small matter. Property taxes hover around 1.25%, which means about $9,000 to $10,000 a year for a median-priced home. Add to that the rising cost of coastal homeowners insurance due to storm and flood risks. When taxes, insurance, and maintenance are all included, many households end up paying more than 2% of the home's value each year, a burden not easily accepted. Long Beach was once seen as a city of opportunity for those who wanted to live near the ocean but couldn't afford pricier areas. But by 2025, the hesitant wave here is pushing many buyers away from the shore, too wary to jump in. The question is, are you ready to ride this uncertain wave? Or will you stand back and wait until the tide truly goes out? Hit like and subscribe if you find this analysis useful. 8. Irvine, the luxury fortress out of reach. If Long Beach is a hesitant wave, then Irvine is like a grand fortress, beautiful, orderly, full of amenities, but so fortified that ordinary people cannot pass through the gate. In August 2025, the median home price here reached about $1,554 million, on more than 2.5 times the national average. The year before, the Los Angeles Times reported Irvine had seen a hot 20.8% increase, pushing prices close to $1.56 million. With numbers like these, the dream of buying a home in Irvine for the middle class is nothing short of a fantasy. To put it in perspective, a 30-year loan for the median home, about $1.244 million, 80% of the value, at 7% interest would force buyers to pay nearly $8,000, $9,000 per month, not including taxes and insurance. This is an expense equivalent to an entire year's income for many middle-class families in California. For those entering retirement, living on fixed pensions, this amount is simply impossible to bear. The Irvine market has also shifted in appearance. Once considered a seller's paradise, the situation has now reversed. Inventory in Orange County, where Irvine is located, has surged nearly 79% compared to last year. The average time to sell has stretched to 65 days versus just 31 days a year ago. This shows that buyers are exhausted after the frenzied bidding wars of 2020-2022, while many homeowners benefiting from 3 to 4% mortgage rates are reluctant to sell only to borrow again at 6 to 7%. Sales across the region have also slid, with some months dropping to just 75% of normal transaction levels. Even if you can overcome the barrier of price and interest rates, ownership costs in Irvine remain a huge challenge. Property taxes in California hover around 1.2%, meaning a $1.55 million home would consume about $18,000, $19,000 per year in taxes alone. That's not including insurance, which has skyrocketed due to wildfire and earthquake risks. Major companies like State Farm have stopped issuing new policies in California, driving premiums even higher, especially in expensive urban areas like Irvine. Irvine still carries the appearance of a model city: top schools, safe communities, well-planned infrastructure. But the price to become part of this luxury fortress is out of reach for most middle-class families, and even further away for those living on fixed incomes. The question is, are you ready to pour all your financial resources into a home in Irvine, only to spend the rest of your life struggling inside a fortress of burdens? Share your opinion in the comments. Do you think it makes sense to buy a home in Irvine right now? 7. Beverly Hills, the fragile kingdom of luxury. If Irvine is a luxury fortress out of reach, then Beverly Hills is an entire kingdom, one tied to glamour, luxury cars, and multi-million-dollar mansions. But by 2025, even this kingdom of luxury has begun to show fragile cracks. The median home price here soared to $3.0 million in August 2025, up 16.5% from last year and 30 times the average American income. That number makes Beverly Hills a playground for the ultra-wealthy, while for the vast majority of domestic buyers, it's nothing more than a distant fantasy. Picture this: a $2.4 million mortgage at 7% interest would cost about $16,000 a month, just for principal and interest. That figure alone is enough to make a middle-class family run for the hills. This is why the market here is largely reserved for cash buyers or international investors with deep pockets. But even they are cautious now. Realtor associations report many transactions have been put on hold, waiting for interest rates to cool. Beverly Hills is no longer selling as quickly as it did a few years ago. The average time to close a home has stretched to 87 days, compared to 73 days last year. Mansions once listed at sky-high prices now have to be discounted to find buyers. According to Redfin, about 5% of homes sold have accepted below-list offers, something once rare in this market. Home sales in August 2025 reached 25 units, up 25% from last year. But this rise doesn't necessarily reflect strong demand. It may indicate that many wealthy homeowners are trying to cash out, whether due to retirement, relocating overseas, or simply not wanting to shoulder more insurance and tax costs. In a city where buyers are primarily ultra-wealthy, fatigue comes later, but it's not absent. High interest rates force even those with massive assets to calculate more carefully. If the global economy wavers or foreign capital pulls back, Beverly Hills will no longer be immune to recession, as many still believe. Ownership costs here are another story. Property taxes run about 1.2%, or roughly $33,000, $36,000 annually for a median home. But that's just the beginning. Insurance in Beverly Hills is among the most expensive. Fire, theft, earthquakes, and even special policies for mansions near the hills. Many homeowners see this as a luxury tax, the price of living in an iconic city. But in reality, quite a few are beginning to ask, is this luxury still worth it when the housing market is clearly slowing? Beverly Hills, the fragile kingdom of luxury, still dazzles in the eyes of the world. But inside are warning signs: prices beyond reach, longer selling times, tighter interest rates, and growing caution from both sellers and buyers. The question for you is, are you willing to step into this kingdom with all its looming financial risks? Or will you stay out and choose a safer path for your future? If you find this analysis useful, hit like to support. Leave a comment with your thoughts on Beverly Hills. And remember to subscribe to follow the next cities in this video series. 6. Palm Springs. The luxury oasis turning into a financial black hole. Palm Springs was once considered the resort paradise of artists, the wealthy, and retirees seeking year-round sunshine. But by mid-2025, the picture has changed. The median price for single-family homes stands at $1.47 million, down 3.1% from last year, yet still comparable to many suburbs of Los Angeles or Orange County. A tough pill to swallow for a market that depends heavily on secondary buyers. An 80% loan for such a home equals about $1 million, and at 7% interest, it eats up around $6,600 per month. This is a burden even for successful middle-class households. Meanwhile, out-of-town buyers, the lifeblood of Palm Springs, are clearly thinning out. In the 3 months leading up to June 2025, the entire city sold 135 homes, fewer than the 149 sold the year before. Weaker liquidity has pushed the market into oversupply. The numbers don't lie. Inventory has surged to 754 homes, the highest in the Coachella Valley. Average time on market has climbed to 52 days, and only 11% of homes sold above asking, down from 15% last year. Conversely, many homes sold for an average of 4.1% below list price. In a vacation home market, just one pull of the plug on investment cash can send the whole market tumbling. One family from San Francisco who bought a second home in Palm Springs shared that they had to cut their price by more than $100,000 just to find a buyer. They admitted, "What kept us up at night wasn't just the loss, but the fact that home insurance premiums kept climbing." Indeed, beyond property taxes of 1.2%, homeowners here face thousands of extra dollars each year for wildfire and earthquake insurance. Many insurers have even stopped issuing new policies, making home ownership in Palm Springs an increasingly costly equation. Palm Springs, the luxury oasis turning into a financial black hole, still has sunshine, turquoise pools, and outward glamour. But with today's numbers, stepping into this market is no different from walking straight into a whirlpool, where your finances can be drained within just a few years. What do you think? Is Palm Springs still a dream resort, or has it now become a financial trap? Share your thoughts in the comments. 5. Riverside. The broken bridge of the middle-class dream. Riverside was once seen as the bridge that allowed the middle class to escape the expensive coastline. But in 2025, that bridge is shaking. The median home price is about $625,000, equal to 8 to 9 times local income. An 80% loan of nearly $500,000 will cost $3,300 per month in principal and interest. Too much for many families, especially those living on fixed pensions. The market has also cooled significantly. Time to sell has doubled, from 32 days to 63 days, while inventory across the region has surged plus 51%. Buyers are no longer rushing. They're waiting for prices to fall. Some older families, like the Millers in Riverside, have had to cut prices multiple times just to get interest. Proof of today's mounting pressures. Ownership costs are no lighter. Property taxes around 1.3% or $7,000, $8,000 per year, plus increasingly expensive wildfire and earthquake insurance. Riverside is no longer a safe haven. but an unpredictable burden for those 50 plus. What do you think? Is Riverside still an opportunity, or has it turned into a risk? Share your experience in the comments below. 4. Santa Clarita. The Stuck Valley. Santa Clarita was once promoted as a family paradise. Spacious, peaceful, and still within reach compared to Los Angeles. But by 2025, this valley has turned into a trap where many middle-class households are stuck. The median home price in August 2025 was $772,000, down 2.8% from last year, but still 6 to 7 times the average income. An 80% loan equal to $618,000 at 7% interest will cost nearly $4,100 per month, a number far beyond what most households can bear. The average time to sell has also risen to 57 days, compared to 35 days last year. Many homes must be discounted just to find buyers. Gone are the days of fierce bidding wars. Now each home receives only about 2 offers on average, and sale prices are nearly identical to the list price, a sharp contrast to the boom period. One young couple who once hoped to settle in Santa Clarita had to abandon their plans when they realized that mortgage payments, taxes, and wildfire insurance, with the area's high fire risk, exceeded their capacity. In reality, the family dream here is slipping further away. Santa Clarita, the Stuck Valley, makes the lesson clear. Buying a home when costs already exceed your means only traps families in debt instead of providing stability. Do you know anyone who has experienced being stuck in the suburbs like Santa Clarita? Leave a comment below. 3. Pasadena. The golden paradise fading away. Pasadena has long been regarded as the jewel of Los Angeles County. Quiet, historic, filled with museums and prestigious schools. But in 2025, this golden paradise is turning in a different direction, as home prices soar to nearly unimaginable levels. In August 2025, the median price reached $1,262 million, up 5.2% from the year before. The price-to-income ratio now exceeds 10, turning the middle-class dream of homeownership into something out of reach. An 80% loan of about $1,009 million at 7% interest eats up around $6,700 per month, not including taxes and insurance. This is no longer a calculation for working-class households. Even many affluent families find themselves hesitating at that number. The market is also slowing down. Average time to sell has risen to 46 days, 11 days longer than last year. Homes are still selling, but buyers are far more cautious. Most transactions rely on cash or highly flexible capital, while the majority remain on the sidelines. Inventory across LA County has jumped nearly 47%, reflecting more listings while demand is no longer as active. Even after crossing the threshold into ownership, carrying costs in Pasadena are another burden. Property taxes run around 1.25%, which means more than $15,000 per year just for taxes. Pasadena, the golden paradise fading away, still retains its historic charm and prestige. But to enter, buyers must trade it for a massive financial burden. At age 50 plus, are you willing to sacrifice peace of mind to chase a home in this city? Share your thoughts in the comments. Is Pasadena still worth buying in 2025? Hit like if you found this analysis helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to explore the next cities on the list. 2. Burbank. The glamour hiding the pressure. Burbank, America's movie capital, still shines with its major film studios. But behind the bright lights, housing costs are an enormous strain. In August 2025, the median home price hit $1.3 million, 5 to 6 times local income. An 80% loan of about $1.04 million at 7% interest eats up nearly $6,900 per month, unimaginable for most middle-class families. Unlike many places that are cooling, Burbank remains hot. Homes sit on the market an average of just 21 days, with some disappearing in as little as 9 days. Demand stays strong as film professionals and the wealthy continue to flock here, pushing many sales more than 3.4% above list price. In reality, most buyers in Burbank are cash buyers or investors in the entertainment industry. For them, property taxes around 1.25% or rising wildfire and earthquake insurance are just necessary costs. But for those dreaming of a life near Hollywood, that dream can quickly turn into a financial burden. What do you think? Is Burbank still a promised land, or just a halo reserved for the elite? 1. San Diego, the ocean paradise out of reach. San Diego still charms with warm sunshine, blue beaches, and a relaxed lifestyle. But for homebuyers, 2025 tells a very different story. The median price hit $960,000 in August, 9.5 times the average income. Business Insider ranks San Diego among the impossible cities for the middle class, on par with Los Angeles. A home at this price requires an 80% loan of about $768,000. At 7% interest, monthly payments climb to $5,100, nearly swallowing an entire household income. No wonder thousands of families have abandoned the dream of ownership, turning instead to renting or multi-generational living. The market also shows clear signs of slowing. Average time on market has risen from 23 days to 39 days, while countywide inventory has surged plus 166% compared to last year. PBS SoCal even reported many deals canceled the moment rates topped 6%. Sellers want to hold, buyers pull back. The result is a deadlocked market. Even after overcoming the barriers of price and loans, ownership costs remain suffocating. Property taxes of 1.3% and rising insurance premiums due to wildfire, landslide, and coastal storm risks. Many insurers are limiting new policies, pushing fees to record highs. San Diego, the ocean paradise out of reach, is stunningly beautiful. But for most middle-class families and retirees, the dream of owning here has turned into an illusion. Is San Diego still an ideal place to buy a home, or is it now only suited for the wealthy? What do you think? Southern California still dazzles with golden sunshine, blue seas, and cities of global fame. But behind the glamour lies a hard truth. Home prices far beyond incomes, sky-high interest rates, soaring insurance costs, and a market gradually cooling. For those over 50 who once dreamed of a peaceful home for retirement, that dream can now easily turn into a lifelong burden. The lesson is crystal clear. Not every city that is beautiful, wealthy, or famous is a safe place to settle down. Sometimes wisdom isn't about buying, it's about knowing when to walk away. What do you think? Is it worth the risk to pour all your money into Southern California right now? Or is it time to seek a more sustainable destination for your golden years? Share your perspective in the comments, because your story might just be the wake-up call someone else needs. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to join us as we uncover the truth about the U.S. housing market. Remember this: in the world of real estate, knowing how to avoid the storm matters more than chasing paradise.